Welcome to Front Range Facts. This is Anthony Meisner.
And this is Jim Marion.
We're here to give you your Colorado update, so let's dive right into it.
Yeah, so, this is something interesting we came across, this thing called the Home Buyer Index. So basically it looks at, the cost to buy a home, how much competition there is from other buyers, the scarcity of inventory, and then the economic stability of an area. So, how difficult is it as a home buyer to essentially get a house? And across all the country, 3 of Colorado's counties became number 1, 2, and 3 on the list of the 10 most difficult counties for home buyers.
Yeah, Garfield, Routt, and Mesa County, incredible.
Yeah, so they're all at the very highest end of that. So if you're trying to buy a home in Steamboat and having some trouble, this might be why.
It's too bad because honestly, we've been struggling here for a long time. But making the top, this is not the list we want to be on the top.
No, not at all. Not at all. Let's talk about another couple of things where we stack up. And so, on the bright side, purchase applications for loans have grown by 4.6% in Colorado. So that, yellowish color is on the lower end of the spectrum. The dark green where you see it in Maine, clearly seen the most, percent increase in that. And then Oregon, for some reason, and Alaska both have dropped down. So a little negative in that territory.
A little negative there. So look at this one. Which state college education Americans move in and out of in 2023? So here's the interesting part here. Educated Americans move very differently than uneducated Americans, right? Because they're moving to city centers, essentially. I think that's the premise behind all this is when you get a college education, you leave home.
Yeah.
And you see it in the Midwest. I mean, it's been incredible how many people have been fleeing the Midwest and apparently the Northeast, which I didn't realize that.
Well, New York, has seen a real net outflow of the tax burden there for property taxes and just income taxes has become quite onerous, right? And so,
yeah, for sure.
I guess you're continuing to see it there, but I'm a little surprised to see like Vermont, and New Hampshire, in that list too. But Colorado has seen a 50% increase, as far as new residents coming in, the ones that are college educated, 50% increase in college educated people into, Colorado.
So take a look at this one in Nevada. This actually might be part of the reason that Nevada is not having the same bounce that we normally see. Usually in times of drop, Nevada is usually our first indicator of places that maybe lose people, lose value in housing. And with all these college educated folks going there, maybe it's making a big difference.
Yeah, it's all the gambling classes you can take in college now. Paying off, buddy.
Right. All right. So what about showings? Because we're getting into the time of year where showings are starting to slow, right?
Yeah.
It kind of came off the peak last month, and here we are.
Yeah, I mean, June is like the high water mark for sales. And so here we are, end of May kind of thing. We're starting to see, some trends emerge. And so, we are continuing to be less than the national average with showing activity. We started to see this basically in about May 2022, where, our home prices became too expensive in relation to the interest rates. And so, we're doing better than we were. I think we hit a low point of like 84, in that index. But last month, I think we're at like 120, 130. So, we're starting to see that activity drop, unfortunately. But it is mirroring kind of, that same general trend in the rest of the country, just, with, less to sell, less people to buy.
This gives you a little bit better look at it. You can see what's going on in Colorado right now. Basically, you trend up all spring and then you kind of taper off towards the Labor Day or the Memorial Day timeframe. And, it's still strong, basically, all the way through basically August. And then once we're out of Memorial Day, then it really does trickle off where a January market is actually more showing traffic than you would see even into October.
But put this into one quick context here. The zero on this, right now we're at 10.3%, right? The zero line is literally January 1st, the dead of winter, right after Christmas, right after the hangover of New Year's. And we're only 10.3% above that mark, which
it's brutal.
Shocking. It's just shocking.
Yeah, it's really low.
So in the grand scheme of things, we're pretty freaking low. So
yeah, they sure are. All right. So what's this one mean?
Well, this one means a lot of gobbledygook, Anthony. It always takes up a lot of space on the screen. So try not to get your eyes to unfocus too much when looking at this. But basically that when you look at the sale price across all different types of homes, 5.7% increase in sale price. When you look at single family homes, 5.3, townhomes, condos have gone up about 2.4%. So again, we're continuing to see prices rise, but this is mainly an artifact of the fact there's not a lot to buy.
Right. There's just not enough housing.
Yeah.
So when we look at it from a lender report, basically it can take a couple of things here. REOs are down about 36%. Short sales are up 16%, but 16% is 7. We went from 6 to 7. Yeah. So either way, basically I want to just point out the fact that we're in a very healthy lending environment right now. I think that's very important for people to understand. It's not like you're going to see this insurgence of bad loans or
Mm-hmm.
people going into default.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, what about this one? Single family homes.
Well, basically pendings are up about 2%. Sold listings are down just a little bit. And, the average sale price, 16% increase. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, partly new construction has been selling a lot more homes in relation to everything else. And B, types of homes that are selling are completely redone, nice looking homes without any projects. So I think that boosts up that, sale price a little bit too.
Yeah, month supply of inventory is up about 25%, but it is still a buyer's market in Colorado at 2.5 months of inventory. Now, if we get over to the townhouse condo market, that's actually rebounded a bit too, 42% up, but very similar feeling inventory levels. You've seen a lot more inventory on the market.
Yeah.
You just aren't seeing a ton more sales to counteract the surge of listings that have kind of come to market.
Yeah, I mean, to see another 1,000, townhomes condos hit the market, certainly a good thing. It might start to decrease a little bit of the acceleration of the price increases, and that's usually what we see starting about midsummer. Prices kind of flatten out for the rest of the year. So I think most of that price gain is baked in already to the market.
Yeah, I think so. So we put these ones in here generally so you can see the historical perspective of kind of where we've been, where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Days on market have been increasing pretty rapidly, 29% or so this year. And the one thing about that is that's still barely in line with where we were in like 2014, right? I mean, it's tough to put it in perspective when you're like, wow, it's gone up so much in the last 2 years, but it's very, very normal. This is kind of back to a little bit more normalized, speed of a market.
Yeah.
And when you see that, you're still seeing, look at the pendings are quite a bit above where they were this time last year. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good sign. We have 7% increase in April. The townhouse condo market is down just a hair, but all things being considered,
we're
just kind
seeing
of trudging
people,
along.
I think, come more to terms and peace with the fact that interest rates are, going to stay high for longer. There's no magic bullet, there's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow to lower rates anytime soon. So if you're going to do something in the next 12 to 24 months, might as well do it now. There's not going to be much difference.
Yeah, for sure. All right, look at average sales prices. This is the one that really is surprising. Now, April might have been the anomaly, but year-over-year change of 16%. I think that's a little high.
It's a jump. It's an odd jump. The only thing I can think of is better quality homes that people are buying versus the projects.
Yeah, and I think it'll come down next month anyway. But when we look at it, I think this is all a good sign that we're a little bit higher, but we're not like skyrocketing, right? 16% is the first month in a very long time you've seen it.
Yeah.
So I really think that this is more of a composition to sales change than anything. Now, if you want to reach out to us, we will happily help you with Colorado data and Colorado information. I'm Anthony with Land Title, 303-968-9868 or ameisner@ltgc.com.
And I'm Jim Marion, realtor here at Coldwell Banker. You can call me at 303-548-0243 or shoot me an email to jim@ourcoloradohomes.com.
Don't forget to tune into the other podcasts. We have a national update and a local update every single month. See you next time.
Take care.